We've asked, and customers regularly tell us that they would use U-Pack again on their next move. Year over year, this company has maintained the highest rating on our ranking of the best moving container companies. I'm Sergio from MoveBuddha. Real quick, if you're unfamiliar with MoveBuddha, we are a moving resource. Our mission is to make moving easier. That means that we try to explain the ins and outs of the moving industry so you can understand what you need for the move that you have on the horizon. Everything from what type of moving company is right for you, moving company reviews, cost analysis, licensing, everything. Let's talk about U-Pack. Chloe was moving from California to Utah and started looking for moving solutions to ship her one-bedroom apartment 800 miles. She needed to stay within a tight budget but didn't want to drive a truck. Chloe also heard horror stories about low-cost moving companies and didn't want to take any risks. U-Pack was the perfect balance between affordability and convenience. With her move behind her, Chloe gave U-Pack 5 out of 5 stars for pricing accuracy, timeliness, and overall experience. At MoveBuddha, we've compiled hundreds of stories like Chloe's to give readers an accurate picture of real moving experiences. If you want to read Chloe's full story, there's a link to it in the description. Now, Chloe's move was a success by nearly every measure, but there's a lot you should know before booking with U-Pack. This is exactly what I'm getting into in this video. I'll talk about what U-Pack is, who U-Pack is ideal for, how much it costs to move with U-Pack, and the cases in which a competitor may be a better option. This is exactly what you need to know about U-Pack. U-Pack is what you might call a hybrid moving option. It's not the same thing as a professional mover because you do the loading yourself, but it's also not the same thing as renting a U-Haul because you don't do the driving. They have two options depending on your needs, a trailer and their Relo cubes. A trailer is just that, a trailer. If you have a large home, then this is probably for you. Their Relo cubes are their much smaller containers that each fit about one room's worth of furniture, and you can order as many of these as you want. Now, here's where things get interesting with U-Pack. If you're not sure how much space your items are going to take up on a truck, which who is, U-Pack will only charge you for the space you end up using. For instance, if you order a trailer and you only take up half the space, the price you pay actually goes down. This exact situation happened with Jason, who moved from Oregon to South Carolina and was originally quoted $6,100. His items took up less space than expected, and he ended up paying only $4,500. That's great, but what if you go with a Relo cube instead? Well, what you can do here is say you're unsure about whether you need 1 or 2 containers. U-Pack will drop off 2 at your home, and if everything fits in one, you don't pay a penny more for that extra container. Think about that peace of mind. You don't have to worry about scrambling last second to find moving alternatives for things that you didn't fit, and you also don't have to overpay and overbook just in case. That's all great, Sergio, but how much is this going to cost me? Well, if you'd like a more personalized estimate of what your move might cost, go to our moving cost calculator, where all you have to do is put in your origin, destination, move date, and move size, and immediately get a pretty accurate idea of what your move will cost. Let's talk about cost. I already mentioned that Jason paid $4,500 to move from Oregon to South Carolina. His move was actually a 4-bedroom home, so it was pretty big. I also mentioned Chloe earlier, that moved her 1-bedroom apartment from California to Utah. She paid $2,950 for 2 Relo cubes. Ryan also used U-Pack for his move from Oregon to Ohio. This was a 2-bedroom home and he paid a little less than $5,800. Steve paid about $2,500 for a move from New York to Florida, and Jaina paid $1,911 to move from Texas to New York. Now here's some more rule of thumb numbers. If you're moving around 250 miles, then you should expect to pay between $900 and $1,900. If you're moving cross country, you'll pay somewhere between $1,500 and $6,600. If you're moving locally, then U-Pack is not for you because they only handle long distance moves. That being said, let's go over who U-Pack is right for. If you're moving over 100 miles, consider U-Pack. We've actually noticed that U-Pack's pricing is especially competitive at the range of 100 and 250 miles. U-Pack also has national coverage like no other. So if you're moving to or from a rural area or even Canada or Puerto Rico, U-Pack is probably the best option. And since you only get 3 days to do your loading and unloading, consider U-Pack if you want your move to move quickly. U-Pack is not the only company that offers a hybrid container solution, but if you're moving out of state, they really are the best option. It does make sense, however, to get quotes from other companies, so these are the companies that you should check out for that. Pods is a very similar company to U-Pack, but some of the main differences include Pods only has coverage in 45 states versus U-Pack's 50-state coverage. You pay for the entire container at Pods, no matter how much space you take up, but Pods does let you keep the container for up to 30 days, so it's good if you want to take your time, and probably the most important difference, in my opinion, is that Pods does handle local moves. Another company to consider is 1-800-PACK-RAT. Similar in a lot of ways to Pods, but they have an even slimmer national coverage at only 31 states. In the description, I'll have a link to U-Pack's website if you're interested in checking them out directly, but I'll also link to more content that goes over U-Pack and the competitors. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out the moving cost calculator for instant and personalized ballpark estimates for your move now.